Hello, everybody. It's Renee from the Let's Get Real channel, where I try to base everything I say on facts in order to help people understand things. And I want to help out today. I'm going to contribute to society today by talking about something that I think most people don't know about. I sure as hell was surprised about it when I found out about it. Um, for those of us who are dieting, who are on, who are on the ketogenic diet, who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, who are trying to avoid sugar at all costs. Anybody trying to avoid sugar at all costs needs to listen to this, okay? If you think that you are buying sugar-free or sugarless products and that it's not raising your blood sugar when you eat it, think again, okay? Unless you're buying one ingredient foods, think again. Let me tell you about something called maltodextrin. It is a chemical additive, okay, to foods. Now let's read this real quick, just real quick. Maltodextrins are a food ingredient derived from corn, potato, and starch, rice starch. Due to the wide variety of applications, they are ubiquitous in foods, beverages, and dietary supplements. What does that mean? It means that ubiquitous means they're found everywhere. Did you see there where it says dietary supplements? They're actually used. The chemical is actually used as a filler for pills, dietary pills. Okay, let's read a little more. They are exalted for their texturizing, gelling, emulsifying, and non-crystallization properties. They're less expensive than other hydrocolloids, I believe that's what it says, and are used on an industrial scale in the food and beverage industry. Owing to its binding properties, maltodextrin also has pharmaceutical applications for the production of tablets and capsules. So basically what it's saying there is that the medications you take are, made of maltodextrin because it has a binding effect. Also, it says there that the frozen foods, okay, usually if you freeze something that's a one ingredient food and take it out later, it falls apart. But when you add certain chemicals to frozen foods and you take them out of the freezer and put them in the oven or whatever, they actually come out okay because they have chemicals like these maltodextrin that it creates a binding effect. Okay, that's one of many chemicals that they use to do this. Okay, here's the point I'm trying to make. Even though you're buying foods that say no sugar or low sugar, maltodextrin is most likely in that food, and it raises your blood sugar higher than sugar does. Yes, maltodextrin is higher on the glycemic index than sugar. It's actually double. It's twice as bad as sugar. Okay? Twice as bad. Now, has anybody ever seen those little packets, in grocery stores, or mainly like in the convenience stores? Little packets, for sugar substitute packets. Little pink, yellow, white packages, cheap little packages that they give you for free at Circle K, 7-Eleven, any convenience store. Okay? Anywhere that you go in to buy gas and you want to go in and get some coffee. And you're trying to avoid sugar at all costs, so you think you're doing a good job by saying, okay, I'm just going to go and get a black coffee and throw a little bit of this pink, this stuff in the pink wrapper, or, this looks like sucralose, or this looks like, some other chemical that is considered like a sugar substitute. And it could very well be, but hey, let me tell you what, okay? It may very well have sucralose in that little packet, but it also has maltodextrin to fill it out. In other words, these sugar substitutes are cut with maltodextrin. Okay? So what you're putting in your coffee every morning, or what you're putting on your oatmeal, whatever you use the sugar substitute for, you're actually causing yourself to raise your blood sugar worse than using actual pure sugar. You would actually be better off using sugar, which you know you can't use if you're diabetic, which you know you can't use if you're trying to lose weight. The point I'm making is that maltodextrin cannot help you lose weight because it's sugar free. Maltodextrin causes blood sugar spikes, okay, which will make us gain weight. How come nobody's talking about this? How come doctors aren't saying, hey, don't take protein powders because they're cut with a shitload of maltodextrin? You think you're doing better by drinking, apple cider vinegar pills rather than taking the real thing. Well, guess what? The majority of that pill that you're taking is maltodextrin. All right? If you don't believe me, research maltodextrin. I will leave a link to Dr. Eric Berg's lecture about maltodextrin in the description. I'm putting this stuff out to help people understand the dangers of this chemical. And I hope people listen and share. Like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I don't get any money to do this. I'm just trying. I'm concerned about myself and concerned about others like this in my condition that they cannot have sugar. Okay? Maltodextrin is a killer. If you don't believe me, I'll tell you what I did. Did a little experiment, and I feel like shit too. You see this? This is a wrapper from one of those sandwiches you find in the mornings in the convenience store like Circle K, 7-Eleven. It's a breakfast sandwich, okay? It's just a basic, bagel, what do you call it? A croissant, egg and cheese sandwich. Egg, sausage, and cheese, I believe. And you'd think, okay, that's pretty innocent. It doesn't look like it's something that would be like really, really bad for me. Well, guess what? They're horrible for you. And in those sandwiches is maltodextrin, of course. It has a huge, huge list of chemicals. You can't really see them right here, but it's in there. I read it. It's in there. You can't see it, but maltodextrin, believe me, trust me, is in this product. It's in almost all processed foods. Listen to me, people. Almost all processed foods. I don't care if it says sugar-free. I don't care if it says zero sugar. I don't care if it says, if you're drinking a sports drink that says low sugar. It's in there. And it spikes your blood sugar way worse than regular sugar. Please take this seriously. You can go talk to your doctor about it, and he can talk shit, but let me tell you something. It's the truth. Do your own research, as I always say. Do your own research. I'm not trying to steer people down the wrong path. Let's get real about this. Otherwise, we're going to be killing ourselves with this chemical that's in every freaking food that we eat. Check it out. Do your research. Peace.